What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I thought we'd do something a little fun and we should react to bad Sonic reviews. What do I mean by bad? I mean games or even movies or media just of Sonic in general that have been poorly reviewed, and hopefully we find some bad reviews with some, not so well thought out logic for the reasonings they gave it a low score. I have a few in mind that we're going to be looking at today. We have to start out with the biggest one I could think of, which is of course IGN's Sonic Unleashed review. Now, I've only seen bits and pieces of this and I've seen people make fun of this before, but I've never watched it in full, so it'll be interesting to actually dissect this and see how much sense it actually makes for a review.
There's one thing you should know about Sonic Unleashed before spending your hard-earned
Okay.
money on it. It's a big piece of garbage. Big piece of garbage.
Okay, so right off the bat, he doesn't know how to play the game. So clearly, he he's getting rings and he has boost meter, and maybe there's spikes. Maybe he just wants to avoid the spikes, but that's fine. But so far, it looks like he didn't really know how to use the boost all that well. So let's keep on watching.
Probably be enough to warn off anybody who's thinking about playing it, but I guess we should talk a little bit more about it, just in case you like to hear this tortured sound of my voice. Indeed, it's games like...
Wow, seems like he really didn't enjoy this game, and for a professional review company, I mean, I think you can express that you don't like something, but this does not sound professional.
this that make reviewers rethink their lives. Now, I have a theory when it comes to Sonic games. Someone at Sega hates the Hedgehog with all his might, and he's trying to sabotage the franchise with these awful games.
Oh, wow.
It's the only explanation that makes any sense to me. Pretty much every decision made for this game was...
Oh my goodness, man. Look at how much time he had to press these buttons. Look at this. He let half of this bar go down, and he missed the X button. So the impression I'm getting from this reviewer is he was bad at the game. Sonic Unleashed, it's a hard game. Can't lie, it's a hard game. So, but let's see if he has any other in-depth reasonings of why this game is, so bad. Why it's 5 out of 10.
Pretty much every decision made for this game was the wrong one, and Sonic ends up taking more beating than a piñata because of it.
I fail to see how that is true. Maybe that's just, his opinion, but the boost formula besides forces has been, proven to work. Colors is a boost game, even though it has a lot of 2D. Generations, one of the best Sonic games out there and best reviewed Sonic games, has boost, comes straight from Unleashed. I think boost was a pretty good idea at the time, and Unleashed's daytime stages were pretty amazing, and they really still hold up till this day. So again, maybe the guy was bad.
The gameplay in Sonic Unleashed is
Oh my god, he just doesn't use the boost.
split up into 3 equal parts.
He doesn't use it.
Daytime stages, which are actually very good. There are nighttime
Okay,
stages, which are
that's fair.
actually complete rubbish. And then
That's
there's
fair,
also
too.
the hub city, where you do a lot of exploration stuff, and that's boring as can be. Now, the daytime stages are actually pretty fun.
He doesn't
It's
use
fast
the
platforming
boost.
That is mostly on rails, and for a brief moment, you might actually think to yourself, wow, this is what a current-gen Sonic game should be. Of course, your hopes will be brutally dashed later on, but never mind that for now.
Okay.
Daytime sections aren't perfect by any means. The jump button can be
Oh my goodness, this man doesn't know what he's doing. He just doesn't know.
fatally unresponsive at times, and
Whoa, what is that, man? That's not how you boost.
the button can be fatally unresponsive at times. and
That's
it's just a lot
crazy.
of trial and error gameplay that can get a little bit
While I'm editing this, I just realized he jumped over the dash panel.
repetitive after a while. If the game was
What am I witnessing?
going to overlook the stupid airplane part that they stuck in,
That is pretty
is
stupid, I'm
the
not gonna
rail
lie.
shooter where you don't actually really
Okay, so he doesn't like the Werehog, and that's perfectly fine. I'm myself not the biggest fan of the Werehog, but I definitely find it more tolerable nowadays. And it is a very big gameplay shift. You go from daytime stages to Sonic and Werehog form, and it's completely slow, and there's combos and stuff, but you don't really have to do that much to get through. You just have to deal with groups of enemies and kind of jank platforming, if I'm being honest. But that's not to say it doesn't have its fun moments, because I still do enjoy the Werehog to a degree. I don't hate it. But it seems like the Werehog really like destroyed this game for this reviewer.
The frame rate's bad, the camera's...
That's truth. The frame rate is terrible on PS3. So if this reviewer played this on PS3, that's a very valid criticism.
bad. Worse is that these stages drag on for like a half hour each. There's no excuse.
Another valid criticism from this review, I can actually agree with that. I think the stages for the Werehog are way too long. They last too long sometimes. And doing a 20-minute stage can be tiring, which is why I think in the Wii version or / PS2 version, the stages being like 6 to 8 minutes is a lot more tolerable, which is why I kind of prefer that version. So another valid criticism. This review isn't as bad, but I think the gameplay is terrible. They clearly don't understand how daytime stages work, and maybe they don't understand how the combos work either. They might just be mashing buttons, but that's not to say some of these criticisms aren't invalid. Okay, now this right here is, I think, a dumb criticism.
Add completely unnecessary RPG elements. You gain XP for every bad guy you kill, and then you can spend this XP to increase things like Sonic speed or your Werehog's moveset. It's not so terrible, but it does seem unnecessary. I mean,
well, I don't think it's a really good criticism that, you know, the game has a sense of progression with your character's abilities, but I do think I am not a fan of how they do the power-ups locked behind, you know, progression for Sonic in particular. Not necessarily his speed and rain gauge upgrades, but like being able to wall jump and light speed dash. I think that is kind of sucky, I guess, but it's cool once you get those abilities. You can go back and replay those stages and unlock new routes. But I do feel like it didn't have to be that way, but it's not that big of a...
but that's
He still doesn't use the boost here. The hub worlds are fine.
Where you aimlessly walk around, talk to people for no reason, and collect coins to get to the next level.
The hub worlds in Sonic Unleashed are perfectly fine in my opinion. You don't have to spend that much time in there. They're kind of just there. Do what you got to do. Move on to the level. I mean, some of them even have little cool puzzles and stuff. I think it's fine. You don't spend way too much time in the hub world doing aimless stuff, so I think it's perfectly fine. But clearly, I think overall, this review is very hated, and I can understand why some of the criticisms were pretty dumb, but some of them I don't think were that dumb. So I wouldn't necessarily go out too hard with the hate on this. Again, he really didn't understand how Sonic worked, and I think that's the biggest takeaway. And I think that, you know, his Werehog criticisms can be valid, but the daytime criticisms were not really all that valid to me, in my opinion, whatsoever. So it could have been way worse than it really was. The review score they actually gave it is different. On their website, they gave the game a 4.5, which is yeah, I don't know. It's quite low. It's quite low, and I don't think it deserves a 4.5. I think Unleashed is still definitely one of the best Sonic games, and there's a big reason why a lot of people nowadays are praising this game like crazy, because, you know, a lot of the people got older and we can finally speak up about the game and how much we enjoyed it. Next up, we have Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure, originally by IGN, got reviewed on the Dreamcast and got an 8.6 at the time. A lot of people still love Sonic Adventure. It's a great game. People want remakes. You know, Sonic Adventure is pretty cool, but IGN had to, of course, re-review the game when it got re-released, and they gave it a 3.5. 3.5, and I think some of the reasonings are terrible, just downright terrible. Just basically saying everyone has nostalgia glasses, which I think that argument is getting old nowadays for people who just like games. I mean, yeah, nostalgia is a part of, you know, our favorite games, but if we're able to go back and play it over and over nowadays, I feel like nostalgia goggles isn't really a thing. I've been told that for liking Sonic Adventure 2 in the past, that I have nostalgia blinders on. No, I just genuinely like the game. I can play the game over and over, but I recognize it has flaws. It's not the best thing ever created, but still my favorite game. And I think if I really had nostalgia blinders on, I wouldn't defend the games, or I'm sorry, I would defend the game's flaws and say it's the perfect game. Now, one thing I'll say that's fair about this review is they talk about the port that is on PS3. The Sonic Adventure port is terrible. It is very terrible, and I can actually agree with this. And you know, this port was rushed, and it's as bare bones as can be. No widescreen support, and you know, it's just bad. Sonic Adventure on PS3 is like a port of a port, I believe, because you have the original Dreamcast version, then we have Adventure DX, and then now Adventure DX ported to PS3, and then I think on PC, which is a port of the PS3 version. So PC has it the worst. The game's been ported like 3 or 4 times, and it's like, yeah, it just kind of downgrades the quality of the games. And it doesn't hurt the fact that Adventure DX changes a lot from the original version, and a lot of it's seen as a downgrade. But I don't think this game deserves a 3.5. I think IGN needs a new system where if they're going to be reviewing re-releases or ports of games, they need to review it as if, you know, they're reviewing the port of the game, not necessarily the game itself. Because I feel like if we already have this original score, then you have this score here, what are you trying to tell your readers? What are you trying to tell your audience? Are you saying, is this a good game, or are you saying, is this a bad game? Because we have 2 different reviews from IGN, both saying very different things. And this is supposed to be my one-stop shop for reviews. So tell me, is this game good or is it bad? And this isn't a review, but next we have the classic Sonic Was Never Good video. And man, even I still have a dislike on this video from years ago apparently. This video kinda shook up everything, and oh my goodness, the Sonic the Hedgehog account commented on this. I don't remember this. Hey Game Scoop, we'd like to offer you a counter opinion, up for a guest appearance. Wow. Even Mike Pollock was here. I thought Dr. Eggman had a monopoly on hating that hedgehog. My goodness, this is when everyone rallied against this. I don't think I even need to talk about this. You all already know about this. Oh, and here we have a review from Pocket Gamer, and it starts off pretty bad. I cannot lie. They say, disclaimer, I don't like Sonic very much. I'd even go as far as to say there has never truly been a great Sonic game. I mean, and that's fine. You don't have to like Sonic to review Sonic, but you need to keep in mind that when someone isn't really a fan of something or has bias against something, they're going to look at it in a much harsher light. That's just usually how it is. I don't care, you know, what you tell me. If you don't like something, you're reviewing something you don't like, you're probably not going to like it. And I think it's a little bit different when you're a fan of something. If you're already a fan of the series, specifically with Sonic, we have all types of games, of course, so we have all different types of Sonic fans. So, for example, say I like Sonic Adventure, but just because I like Sonic, that doesn't mean I'm gonna like Sonic Heroes. So, I feel like fans can have a more, I guess, involved outlook when it comes to reviewing stuff Sonic related, or just in any franchise in general, because not every fan's gonna like the next iteration, so they can say what they don't and don't like compared to the previous, whereas someone who doesn't like this franchise at all isn't just probably gonna like it or compare it to other things, because people who like Sonic are the ones who are gonna buy Sonic. People don't buy what they don't like. And I think this is the biggest criticism of this review, is Sonic has always felt unfocused, confused, and frustrating. And I don't if he's talking about the classics, that literally to me makes no sense. Maybe this reviewer is not good at Sonic. I mean, for one, they don't like it, so I assume they don't play it and don't fully understand it, if you know they haven't given it that much of a shot. But classic Sonic is very focused, and the level designs usually are very focused, and there's multiple different branching pathways, and if you're good enough, you keep your momentum and speed and avoiding the obstacles. I think it's very, very focused, especially in Sonic Mania. It's very focused, straightforward, and I think Sonic Mania, compared to the classics, it pushes you a lot more, and there's a lot more automation compared to the classics in Sonic Mania, which I think is fine. It ends up working out for the better because it helps you keep your momentum. So I don't understand this criticism that it's felt unfocused, because this person said Sonic has always felt unfocused. So we're talking about the classics right now. I mean, 3D later games, yeah, some of them are definitely unfocused. So I can agree with that partially, but if we're talking about the classics, which this game is very much like, then this criticism to me doesn't make any sense. And then this says Sonic Mania should have done for Sonic what Rayman Origins did for Rayman. Take the best bits of the franchise, zoom in on them with laser focus, and build the entire experience around that. I think that's exactly what Sonic Mania did though. They took the best of the classics, the best of Sonic 3. They took pretty much everything and put it together in one. My main criticism with Sonic Mania is that I wish the whole game had original levels. That's literally it. But this game literally takes the best of all aspects. There's so many different playable characters, which is one of the best aspects of Sonic 3. And then we end off with that we're left with the same confused experience as Sonic has always been, just slightly better. Sonic fans will be pleased, Sonic deniers will still feel justified in their scoffing, the world will continue to turn. And I think this review didn't predict how everyone would feel. Sonic Mania is still one of the best reviewed Sonic games, and it's, you know, universally renowned as just a great game by so many people. You know, there's some people here and there that I've seen that don't like Sonic Mania, but it is very rare. I think this person thought they were ahead of the curve with this review, and here we are on the Sonic Forces Metacritic, and I think this score is pretty justified, personally speaking. I don't see much problem with this, but of course that's my opinion. But, you know, I think that a lot of people were on the right track when it comes to Sonic Forces reviews. I think a lot of people were in agreement this game is just mid. Here we have Play Magazine. We can't find the full review, but we can read this little tagline where it says, "You simply can't ask for more out of an action game. Mission accomplished. Sonic is born anew." And this is for Sonic 06, of course. And I couldn't really find anything on this review. All I know is what I found here on Twitter, that Play Magazine rated Sonic 06 a 9.5 out of 10. The next issue they changed it to an 8.5 after saying they were told the load times and glitches would not be in the game, or be in the final game. And they later gave the PS3 version of the game a 5.5. Originally they thought this game was a 9 out of 10 game, and that's kind of funny, and I think that's a terrible review because it seems like they didn't really think about what was there. And to me, that shows me they probably went along with everyone else and just said the game was bad because everyone else was saying the game. But yeah, I think those are all the reviews I really wanted to check out. There were some interesting ones, there were some ones that were pretty terrible, but I think overall they weren't as bad as I remember, especially the Unleashed one. It still wasn't that bad. They had some criticisms, they just didn't know how to play the game. I think that was just it simply, and that's probably what triggered people. But anyways, this was an interesting video to do, and if you guys enjoyed and want to see more stuff like this, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.